All right, so now all my sheets are taped down. I'm ready to begin. Now I have all my dimensions ready for me. So how to determine what scale you're going to use? It really depends on how big your building is. If your building's pretty big, you are going to use a smaller scale. And so how to determine that is take the measurement that's longest on your little sketch and go from there. So if your longest measurement is 60 feet and you're gonna use, let's say 3/16 you're gonna use, and you're gonna say, okay, well, from 0 to 60 is right here. That doesn't even go edge to edge, that goes way past. So you can see how you're going to need a smaller scale for this. But my largest is 55.5 feet. So my largest length is 55.5 feet. I can go ahead and use 3/16. So 55, I got 0 right here and 55. So I probably should go even smaller than 3/16. But I think I'll be all right. Yeah, because 55 is right here. And so now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just make little tick marks. So this is 55 and this is 55.5. And that is a little bit off. And this is kind of thin over here. Let me slide it over a bit, kind of even it out. And all I'm doing is ensuring that this drawing is centered. That's it. So that's my longest length. And then I just need to get my longest width this way. And so it looks like it's 33.5 feet. So I want to make sure that from here to 33.5 is centered from this edge to that edge. So that's 0, 33.5. And I'm not using any math to do this. I'm kind of just using guesstimation, eyeballing it. So I'm just erasing some of the marks that I made. I know these are the 2 marks for the width. This is the 2 marks for the height, or I'm sorry, the length and the height. Not height, width. All right. So now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start drawing, or start drafting actually. So from here to here is my longest length. I go light. Go light on these lines. Why do you go light on these lines? Because that's one heck of a commitment to do. And not only that, but this is tracing paper, so I can just throw another sheet of tracing paper right over it and finalize it and trace it again. So I'm gonna go ahead and, since I know this dot right here is the width, then I'm gonna go from there. All right, let's see. And actually, I did that. Jumped ahead of myself. So this is helpful to make construction lines. This is the edge, and this is the edge. I know I'm not supposed to go past this. So I'm making really light lines, and that's okay. This line, I just realized, is a mistake. From here to here is the limit. And so I have to kind of undo what I did. Try not to erase. But since I made a pretty significant error, all right, so now I know that this is the maximum amount of area for my floor plan. Now, this doesn't mean that it's a rectangle. So my floor plan has different parts poking out, poking in, and so I know that my garage is going to be here, and from here to here on the inside is 12 feet. But this is the very outside of my house. And so I draw my wall 6 inches. Though physically it might be 4 inches when you go to build it, 4 inches wide. The reason why I do 6 inches is because it's very thick, it's very apparent. On a set of plans, it's really easy to see a thick black line versus a thinner black line. And not only that, it's easier to deal with when you are using a scale. And so I draw all my walls, exterior and interior, using 6 inches, no matter what scale I use. So this scale is going to be what? 3/16, right? So I'm going to make sure that this wall right here is going to be 6 inches. Now I'm going to utilize my scale for that. Just going to tick that off right there and draw this wall. Again, I'm going light. I'm going to go back and I'm going to darken it. And from this measurement right here, I'm going to zero it out from here using 3/16, and I'm going to go to 12 feet. I'm only going to go so far because I need to measure just how far I need to go. And this is going to be 20 feet. So now I can use either one of my triangles and butt it up against my straight edge. This creates that perpendicular line from the straight edge that I want. Now I can start working my way in. Go back to my scale, 3/16. And if you forget the scale, always just write it on. It's a sketch paper anyway. So we're just trying to get this drawn out to where we can come back and throw another sheet over it and finalize it. And so now I'm going to draw this wall from here to here, and then this is going to be 6 inches as well. And you can see how it's starting to come together. This area, this is my garage. This area right here is a porch, and I know from here to here is 7 feet. So I'm gonna go ahead and make my porch. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna line it up with these 7. And then 0. And then I'm also, while I'm here, just to make it quick, I know this wall is gonna be 6 inches. So I'm just gonna tick that off real quick too. There you go. This wall is also going to be 6 inches. I'm going to carefully lift up my straight edge. I always lift up because I don't want to drag this over my paper. I don't want to have the potential of tearing this. I'm also going to measure this at 6 inches. And just keep going. And you can see how you can slowly build your walls for your floor plan. Does it matter that my lines are crossing right now? No, it doesn't. Because we're gonna finalize this. I'm gonna throw another tracing paper over it and continue to go. So right now I know that there's a room right here that's 13 feet. So I'm gonna line this up with the 13-foot mark. I'm gonna put my straight edge up against it. And then right there on the 0. So from that point to there is 13 feet on the inside. So I'm just gonna draw a line like that. Gonna come back. I know this is 12 feet on the inside of this room. And just continue to go from there. And so from here to here is another 13. So I'm gonna go ahead and measure that. And again, what I'm gonna try and do is match up this line. Oop, kind of went over a little bit, that's okay. I do need to make sure this wall bumps out 6 inches and this wall bumps out 6 inches. And so you can see how you can start building your floor plan like this. So you have to know the size of each room, because this is my kitchen and this is open area to the family room. And then I'm gonna start doing stairs and start putting in different furniture in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and pause the video and I'll start filling in the walls and showing you how. When I come back, I'm gonna show you how to do windows and I'm gonna show you how to do doors.